Loading an old save retcons your actions and kills the immersion. Many designers noticed this problem and wanted to include your death and continuation as part of the narrative and story. This continuation fits perfectly in Metroidvanias, where death is frequent and checkpoints are preset. You can find this in Double Damnation, Death's Gambit and Thunder, where you do not randomly spawn, but some powerful entity keeps reviving you and discusses your death. You will also find reviving as part of the narrative in 3D Metroidvanias like the Souls series and System Shock 2. You can see an example of this in Dark Souls 2, where you grow more hollow with its death. And of course various games like Rogue Legacy and Nier Automata. The greatest example is Shadow of Mordor, where every death creates dynamic tales of vengeance through the Nemesis system. Instead of erasing the impact of death, designers noticed they can make death impact the game's mechanics and narrative. By leaving behind your corpse, you are mechanically rewarded for reaching it. And narratively, you're noticing of having died here and surpassing your death forms a dynamic story, tailored to your failure. For Double Damnation, I considered the following to increase the impact of death. Let me use Mario as an example. What if a Goomba kills you and it becomes bigger? A minor but notable consequence of your death. For Double Damnation, I merely increased the health and speed of its enemy killing you, and this stacks. It obviously is not near as great as Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system, but it is the same mechanic at its very core, without any words needed to convey it. Now, what if designers do not want you to revive, but want the ability to save scam become part of the narrative, as the power of the protagonist? You can find this example in Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind and Radiant Historia. But what if you control more than one character, a party for example? It is better to continue the narrative with permadeath. Every death now has more consequence than reviving or save scamming, as there is no way to ever play again with that character. This is the peak impact of death. Rage, sadness, determination. You feel those.
No, come on! Healer! Healer! Come on! Come on! Come on! Look, that's fine as long as you give me one more fucking hit!
Injury. Find it in no short supply.
Don't do it! Fuck!
Regroup.
Fuck! Fuck!
Battle is timeless after all.
Fuck!
I think games like XCOM and Darkest Dungeon could push the narrative impact of death further beyond than just a graveyard. The greatest example is Dwarf Fortress, where the death of a dwarf could be engraved on stone for all future dwarves to read and inspire, so his death becomes a permanent part of the narrative, a permanent part of the lore.